8:27 this Wednesday morning. Thanks for sticking with us here on ARC Rochester. I'm Dan Schrapp.
And I'm Stephanie Joseph. We are continuing to make our way through this 8 o'clock hour. And since we are halfway through the week, it's important that we remain positive.
It certainly is, but it's not always easy for everyone to keep things positive and not let the little advice on the power of being positive.
Yeah, we're joined by motivational speaker Ramon Ray to talk just about that, being positive and spreading positivity to others. Good morning to you.
Hey, good morning. Good morning. Good to have you. Good to have it. Thanks for having me here. And I love talking about positivity, Stephanie and Dan. Great to be back again. Thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. Ramon, let's dive in. There's got to be some little tips and tricks because, listen, the weeks are long, the days are long, especially during winter and dark, and it gets very gloomy here in our region of the country. What are some of the little reminders that you use throughout your day to kind of turn things around?
Sure. I think two things that comes to mind, Dan. I think one is that we can't ignore the fact that bad things do happen. We can't determine who we're born to, how we're born, how we grew up as children. We can't fight that. Number two, Dan and Stephanie, I think the aspect of luck. You know, you get hit by a car, you drop your ice cream cone. So let's acknowledge things happen. But number two, I find that positivity is a choice. I open up my refrigerator, my favorite coffee's not there, my favorite cream's not there. Guess what? I can still choose to be happy. And number two, I can think about other people. Not that you want to live your life that way, but that's one good way to start it, to say, hey, this happened to me, but you know what? Somebody else probably has it so much more bad. And another component of that, I think, is the power of being thankful. Just being thankful who I am. Wow, I have this, I have that. I have my 2 adult kids. I have a marriage or not. Whatever you have in your life, there's something you can be thankful for. So I'm a firm believer that positivity is absolutely a choice that we all get to wake up with or go to bed with or go throughout our day with and be grateful. So it's a choice, and the power of being thankful and being positive, I think, are two tips. And I can go on, Dan and Stephanie, for another 4 hours if you like, that I find myself being positive.
But I also agree with you. Positivity is a choice, but sometimes it can be easier said than done. Where do you even start? I'm thinking maybe affirmations, but for somebody who's really like bogged down in their situation, can't see the light in the tunnel, what would you recommend that they start with?
Yeah, I find two things. One, what life would you like to live? Do you want to stay that way, or do you want to try your best, Stephanie, to live a life of more positivity? That's one. Number two, this is easier said than done. Hang out with positive people. Now, if the positive person is laying in bed with you, are they your kid? I don't know what to tell you about that. But generally speaking, Stephanie, we often may be hanging around people that drag us down. So as John Acuff says in his book, Soundtracks, you may need to change your friend circle. This doesn't mean you have to get rid of people in your life. That's not so great, and that leads to not being positive. But you may want to say, hey, friend who I normally talk to, instead of talking to you for 30 minutes, let's talk for 1 or 2 minutes, then I'm going to go do something different. So changing your friend circle, asking yourself, number two, what is the life I want to live? Even myself, Stephanie, even myself, Dan, as a positive person, a 52-year-old grown adult, I may get down from time to time. But you know what? I can look at, let me be more positive. Let me choose to operate differently.
Ramon, so it kind of sounds like the positivity is contagious. There's an aspect of...
Dan, and put butter and cheese on it, whatever you want to do, your favorite condiment. Yes, you're around other people, Dan. I'm around you and Stephanie, let's say. We're there for a few hours, don't we do? It's hard to be bad. One, you feel like an idiot for going around moping all day. Number two, it's infectious. So I often tell my kids, I often tell people in my youth group, we have the choice to be the thermostat around us. We can choose to change the narrative, choose to change the climate. We don't have to be the thermometer, and everything that comes on us, we suck it up. We suck it up. That's exactly right. We can choose to A, spread positivity to other people. Number two, don't let negativity invade us. And the more and more good people, I think, to get together, because Dan and Stephanie, the world is an evil place. There's the news, there's the headlines, there's this, that, and the other. That swimming clip you all had was amazing. There's all kind of things going on on in the world. But yes, we can spread positivity. I want to be clear. This doesn't mean Pollyanna. This doesn't mean not recognizing that bad things happen or things go on that we may disagree with. But we don't have to live our life with our head hang down and feeling that way, because the only person we'll hurt is one person, Dan and Stephanie. We hurt ourselves.
That's true.
Yeah, no, for sure. And I feel like positivity kind of looks different depending on the person. How do you make sure that as you're going on this journey of being more positive, it's authentic to you?
Yeah, that's very true. My daughter has said that, Dad, you just crashed a car and you're still smiling. Well, I got to give her grace. She's not me. So, yes, I think those of us who have that positive index, we do have to understand going around the world whistling and something really horrible happened, that may be an inappropriate dose of positivity at that time. So you're exactly right. And I think we can all have a certain measure. But here's the challenge I have for everybody, is that we can all choose to be a bit more positive, contextual to who we are. Valentine's Day last year, I crashed the car. I'm taking my wife, Dan and Stephanie, on a date. Pre-Valentine's Day. You can't get worse than that. And I crashed the car. I had to breathe. I had to acknowledge that I messed up. But I had to move forward and choose positivity.
And was part of that positive choice getting some roses and takeout delivered?
Yeah.
Later on it was, after I just sat in silence and was like, I was driving a bit too fast, I know.
Yeah. Well, we're glad you're all right, and glad that you were able to make it on the show this morning and spread a little bit of that joy and give us some guidance on how we can share some of that.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me. Thank
Absolutely.
You so much.
For somebody sitting at home real quick, I think we've got it at the bottom of the screen there. What website can they go to if they want to learn more about you, Ramon Ray?
That's the best place to go. CelebrityCU.com. They can find more information about me and get that dose of positivity in their life. Thank you so much.
Love it.
All right,
Thank you.
Thank you.